what do you know about human design and why did you choose right now to learn about it? Is it about the program Quantum Leap, or is it more interesting about human design and like share what is there for you when you learn about this program?
Well, I guess for me, the first time I had learned about human design was just a few years ago. I know it was definitely after COVID. Um, but I remember getting my profile done by this website, but never got it properly read or looked too far into it. So I have a very, very, very intro level understanding of it.
Yes.
But I remember when I read my profile for the first time, I was like, wow, this makes a lot of sense. Like even for things that have happened in my life, like some of the biggest opportunities that came were very in line with my human design profile, just reading it. So I think for me, I'm excited to dive deeper into that and kind of learn more how to read your personal profile, how to read yourself, how to live more aligned with
Yeah.
your type
Yeah.
for sure. Because I know even though the biggest and best opportunities that came to me came very in line with my type, I definitely wasn't actively living my lifestyle in that way. So that's what I'm interested to change.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. Thank you. So you already came across the human design a few years ago, so you know a little bit. That's great, Gabriella. Anyone else? Ayana, Kristen, Edith, I know you're busy driving. Do you know anything about human design or what made you interested in the Quantum Leap human design program right now?
For me, I have been interested in it for a while. I've heard it from different creators and stuff, but I was never at the point where I could actually like kind of dive into the program. And so I kind of just like, it's not time yet. And I've put it off. But recently I've just been learning more about like the human mind and body. And I think this is like a nice stepping stone kind of in that direction. So I'm excited to learn a little bit more.
Perfect. Thank you. But ladies, please keep in mind that this is again not just a human design program. I'm adding a lot of psychological and spiritual aspects to it so you can experience actually quantum leap. And it's a drastic change if you're going to do the program the way it's designed. And by the way, I want to answer the question that Kristen yesterday asked with regards to ratification, what it means. For example, my mother doesn't even remember what time she gave me birth. She said anywhere between 10 p.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning. And it literally took me around 6 to 7 months to figure out my design. And as you're going to be learning, you're going to be twitching and twitching and twitching. And like, oh, this is it. This is it. And then everything comes together. Now, have I tried to find people who would do ratification to me? Yes, two people. It was not anywhere close. They say they're experts based on your traumas and big events. They can put it together exactly time. So they were really two big experts, but it was not anywhere close until I finally put it together. So as you're going to learn yourself, you're going to be the best experts to put your profile together. You won't be able to achieve that after this basic course, even though we're going to learn a lot and you'll be able to understand yourself a lot. But after the program number 2 and 3, you will be experts in it and you could even teach it. But I cannot teach the level 3, and I'll be fully authentic with you. In order for a person to teach human design, there got to be three major things. First, you got to be happy in your relationship with your husband or your wife and living in your, actually, four things, and living fulfilled in your relationship, not because you have to, because the husband is rich or whatever. You have to be happy in love with the person you're with. Number two, you got to do what you really love to do, not because of your money, but because you really love what you do. Number three, you gotta live in your, if you're a projector, as a projector. You gotta live as a generator, as if you're a generator. And number four is to live in a place that makes you fulfilled and happy. I don't have that one. I am happy in Turkey and in Kenya. That's where I want to live. But I live in the United States. Makes sense? And until I move to Turkey or Kenya, I cannot teach you the last program. It would be out of integrity for me. So I can teach this level and the second level. But the third level, unfortunately not. And now a lot of people I see in human design, they're teaching everyone because it's a lot of theories. But it's the theories are very cheap because you give piece of you. If you're a millionaire, you can teach others to be a millionaire because you have the access to it. You have the energy of that money. I have access to fulfillment relationship, freedom in a career, choosing, but not yet. I'm not yet in Turkey or in Kenya. Makes sense? That's why I travel a lot. And so it's very important. That's the key, choosing the person who will teach you human design. So, but now let's begin and let me ask you a question. Please be honest. Did every one of you watch the introduction that I sent you yesterday? Yes? Very good. Gabriella, did you watch it? The first part, introduction to the program. Yes, right? Edith is driving. Ayana, we don't know, but I would like for you to tell me, are you choosing to finally start to learning about you and understand that the most important person is not a husband, is not a child, is not your parent, is not anyone else, and is you. And as I'm saying this, there could be some thoughts that are coming on the surface, and you're thinking, no, I still have to put my son, or I have to put my daughter, or I have to put my partner. So I would like for you to share what's in the space when I say that you, not anyone else, is the most important person in your life. So please share with me what is there with you.
I will love to start by sharing. I personally feel like, again, it was right around like 28, 29 when my daughter was 3 or 4. It became very obvious to me that being selfish, which was something I judged and demonized so badly, but it was because I judged it that I started moving in and realizing my daughter was my spark, because I knew that the only way to be the best mother for her was being the best Samantha, not the mother, not a wife, but me as a human, because she was watching me like a movie.
Yes, yes, especially projectors. You mentioned your daughter is a projector. Oh, they're so smart. You ladies are the projectors ones. You are the genius ones, and you have to just know. And we will talk about you shortly. Kristen, any resistance to that you are the most important person? Ayana, any resistance that you are the most important person? What arises? Because you have to be authentic now. No, I still have to do this or I have to do that before I can start paying attention to me. So start paying attention to that. And who is David, I wonder? Because we don't have any Davids in the program. Or maybe it's Gabriella feeding the baby, but I can speak. Got it, Gabriella. Thank you. Let me know if David is you. I'm assuming that's your husband, computer, but you're there. So the question again, is there any resistance to that you're the most important person and that you have to put on the side all the have tos?
I think I have some resistance because I'm a people pleaser. So I always feel like I have to be like the leader, my family, and like hold it together, make sure everybody's happy and doing their sports or they're with their friends or everybody at my job, because I own the company, that I'm just making sure everybody's happy. All my staff are happy before I put myself first.
Got it. Thank you for acknowledging that. And consider this is going to be your turn in the program. Meaning, I would like for you to start thinking, you are the most important circle in your life. You, not anyone else. This is circle number one. Second circle is your parents, your partner, and your children. You will have to use them to practice yourself and your thorns in your body. Like you're got to start taking those thorns out so you can be free of it. Okay. And this third circle is your relatives, your colleagues, your friends. And so you are one of your thorns is that you will try to please others and just pay attention to your body, how you feel when you're making them more important than yourself. Again, oh, I have to make sure I take care of her or him and other people. And finally, oh, I get to me and now I am exhausted. I don't even have energy to myself. And that's what you will have to confront and deal with. So thank you for sharing. Anyone else? What has to start showing up when I say no, you are the most important person, not anyone else.
I think for myself, I used to think like that a lot until I got married and it became a source of conflict between me and my ex. And so I kind of was left with a lot of feelings of like, should I not be thinking like this? Like, I thought that's how people are, you know, you put yourself first, but then you make space for other people. So it became it was a source of conflict between us very often. And it also left me, like I said, kind of confused on whether that was the right way to be. And so now I'm trying to bring that back because it was a lot for me to process in that way because that's how my parents raised me to be, you know. You deal with yourself and then you can deal with others. And so, yeah, so now I'm basically putting that back into my practice of being.
Yeah, but we don't want it to collapse. Like, yes, you have to take care of yourself and your happiness because no one else is responsible for you and your happiness. But if you are looking at the relationship, if you are happy, then anyone next to you will be happy because when you are happy, who benefits immediately is the husband and kids and parents if they live next to you, and then your friends and then the relatives. And so, mhm,
I was happy
yeah,
with the decisions that I chose for myself. It became conflict because he felt that I was doing that too much. And it could be the case. I'm not sure.
mhm,
That was his reality with me.
yeah,
That she cares too much about her happiness. And that's what I mean with conflict because I was making myself happy. I would go on my walks and I would, you know, spend time with the people that I wanted to spend time with and things like that.
mhm.
But it was the conflict in that sense.
Got it. Ayana, thank you for sharing. And that's why we're going to get to that, what you're bringing already to the surface shortly. But for now, what I would like for you to fully get present to is that the key to accessing a quantum leap lies in eliminating thoughts that you have to, you must, or you need to, because I am a mom, I am a husband, or a dad, or a daughter, or a boss, or a colleague, or a friend. Um, Quick example. Yesterday, my mother-in-law had a birthday. Actually, she had it on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, she spent time with her mother. On Wednesday, it just the way it happened, she spent with one of her son. Yesterday, she wanted to spend time with me, my husband, our son, and also her husband. But it just happened. I am feeling exhausted. I was tired. So I had to decline, even though immediately the head is saying, well, she'll be upset because she really wanted to see me. But that's what it takes to say, well, but what's good for me? Because I am tired. I don't feel like driving 1 hour away because tomorrow she'll be bringing all of her friends in the park, and I'll be more than happy to go during the park and celebrate her birthday with all friends. Yeah, and then it will work for her, it will work for me, but when we sacrifice, that's what nobody wins. And in a moment, I will talk about when we sacrifice as a projectors and how we sacrifice as a generators or manifesting generators and how it doesn't work for no one. Okay. But for now, all I would like for you to be with is that you don't have to do anything. You gotta just start being with that and learning that, yes, I can actually put myself first. And that's not selfish, that's love. And if you choose to be in this course, you're choosing yourself, to love yourself, to have compassion to yourself, and to rediscover yourself, to prioritize yourself and your happiness. And again, no, it's not selfish. It's an act of love when you choose yourself. Let go of again the parenting old school that it is selfish. No, that is really medieval time. We gotta really connect to ourselves, to our soul, and listen. Learn to listen our body because it talks to us 24/7. And in this program, again, you will learn how this person you feels, what this person wants to. Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to eat an ice cream? Do you want to have a salad? Do you want to go watch a movie alone? You don't like this movie, you can walk out of the movie, and it's okay. You're going to learn for the first time. Do you love your husband or your partner or not? Do you actually love your friends and care about them? Do you feel happy with them or not? How do you feel with your parents and certain relatives and certain colleagues? You're going to start learning and listening to yourself, meaning feeling and getting in tune with your body. So, to achieve this, you need to discover and become genuinely curious about yourself, your talents, your gifts, your weaknesses, your strengths, and your limitations. Learn to listen to them and get in tune with them. They're there for a reason. And your body communicates with you all the time. You just, again, haven't learned how to listen because you've been listening to your brain for 20, 30, or 40 years. And now you can say, you know what? Thank you. I didn't get to fulfillment and happiness so far to the degree that I want to. So take a break. Now it's time for me to in tune, to connect to my GPS and start learning to listen to myself. And again, I've mentioned this earlier and I've mentioned this again. For us, the access to happiness lies in these four things. You gotta listen. Are you with the person that you truly in love with? And not because he's making good money or he lives in a good place, I like his home or apartment. Second, are you with the friends that really cherish you, care about you, and you care about them? Do you do what you truly love doing? Are you happy in your career? Not because you're making a good money or not because it's a really cool job for the societal measures, but you really actually love it. And number four, are you living in the place, in your apartment or your home, the city, the town that you love? These are the four criteria that we will be looking and you will be listening in order to learn. Are you really happy? And so there's a possibility that you can eliminate even 80% of the people in your life because you will start feeling that doesn't feel right. Doesn't really feel right being with this person or living in this place or being friends with this person. So allow yourself this luxury and you will see rapid changes in you. Because in this course, you might consciously again realize that you're living in the wrong place, town, or country, that you're married to a person because of loneliness or financial instability, or you're dating because this person is interesting, but you actually have no feelings for this person, or you go to work in order to pay bills months to months. But this is again, if you're doing that, you're in a modern slavery, basically. Do you get it? So what starts to arise? Do you feel that something here that I'm sharing is connecting to you? That yes, I don't like my job, I'm just doing it because the income is good. Or yes, I'm really not into this guy, but I'm with him. Or I'm living in a place or home or town that I'm not crazy about. So who would like to share? So
For me, I like my job. I do like my job. I like to go to it, but it's not really where my passion is. And like I would just say like it's decent. Like if I didn't have it, I would be fine. If I do have it, I'm fine, you know. Um, and I've been basically slowly, but not as much, but I've been slowly working towards trying to expand myself in the areas that I do like. Um, I do like where I live, though. I'm very grateful for where I live. I've met some really amazing women in this area, and we do a lot of things together now. And we kind of created a group for each other to be a support for each other in just our lives. And it's been really lovely in this area. So I'm very happy about that. And I do think I choose good friendships. I'm grateful for the friends that I've allowed in. And it's so interesting because one of the women that I just met recently, she said to me a few weeks ago, she said, you know, I feel so lucky that we're friends. I feel like you don't let people in often. And I was like, well, I don't. She was like, you know, I really I really like that about you. But she's like, you know, you kind of just have, you're friendly, but you have like this barrier that it takes time to get behind. And I just like that about you. And I don't know, there's certain things you don't really notice that you're doing, but other people are noticing them. So I thought it was really funny that she decided to share that with me after, you know, we've been close for a few months now. Um, but I do think I choose good people who are kind, and genuine. And so I'm really happy about that. And I'm hoping to find another relationship one day.
thank you, Ayana. So what works is you choosing the right friends and living in a good place. But what doesn't work, we want to be fully authentic and share, is the work that you're not really passionate about and that you're single. That's beautiful. Thank you for that full authenticity and sharing yourself. That's beautiful. Anyone else wants to share maybe in 1 minute?
I feel like I love my clients and the quality of life that I give them and how happy they make me and I make them. But I cannot stand my staff. Like they're exhausting, like to deal with every day. And I've tried everything from money to boosting staff morale and like handwritten notes, everything. They do not have a work ethic. It's exhausting to go to work every single day to deal with them. It's never the clients.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And so consider that this is what you're going to be confronted with. Because if you go to work Monday through Friday where you don't like staff, imagine how suppressed you are. Like I feel because I'm living in United States, which is a great country, wonderful people, but vibrationally, it doesn't feel like this is my flow. This is the place where I come alive. I feel like I'm 20% suppressed. 80%, I'm like, oh, wonderful, awesome, great, everything works. But when I come to Turkey or Kenya or Tanzania or South Africa, I'm like on another level. Like something really starts to lift up and open up. But with regards to the staff and work, this is a big chunk. Imagine how much you're suppressed. So be authentic and share. For me, living in United States, I'm suppressed by 20%. How much would you call percentage-wise you're suppressed with the staff at work on a daily basis? Question for you, Kristen.
Yeah, I have to think about it because it was probably way more than half.
Yes, yes. And that's what we want to start to confront, you know. We go for the sake of, okay, I need money, I need to pay bills, I need to have this beautiful home, I can go to vacation, I can pay payments for Tesla or Mercedes or whatever the car. But in the process, I'm gonna suffer. And this is the choice that we make every day because in our modern society, we're taught that that's what everybody else does. And I need to do the same. But do we? Do we? And if you're a projector or the generator, you're going to learn so much. I'm pretty certain that you're a projector, but again, you will need to do the graph and see because if you're a projector and if you're working 8 hours a day, you're losing so much of your vitality. And projectors, please know, and we're going to talk about it in a moment, that if you are breaking these four, the impact on you is that you're bitter, you are suffering. When you're breaking this four and you're a generator or manifesting generator, you're resigned. But for projectors, you are just bitter. And so we're going to start confronting again, what is something where you violating yourself? Where I don't want to even think about tomorrow is Monday to go to work and dealing with stuff, but you do it. You do it day after day, week after week, year after year. And it's a choice. And it's a choice to be suppressed by, sounds like, by 50 or 60%. Right? And where is this liveliness? And where is this happiness? Right? Anyone else? Where are you suppressing yourself? Who wants to share? 1 to 2 minutes?
I can share. I'm trying to think. So I guess something that I've been funny, you were talking about like, putting other people first before yourself, and then the baby wanted to eat. So, of course, I'm breastfeeding him right now. So sometimes, I can have that feeling of, oh, it's all about the baby, the baby. Um, but something I think I've been confronting more is I don't work anymore. And this is something that my husband and I have planned for a while, but it's hard for me to talk to other people about it, especially when people assume right away, um, that I almost feel like I have to back it up with the fact that I used to work a lot. So, um, because of the baby, I'm doing some like mommy and me classes, whether it's like working out or just learning more about babies, because I didn't know much about babies before having one. And people will be like, oh, yeah, when's your maternity leave over? Or like assuming that I'm going back to work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no, I'm staying home with the baby. They're, oh, are you going to want to go back to work? Like those are the kinds of conversations that a lot of people have. And then I notice within myself that I'm like, I almost feel like I have to justify it to people. Like, oh, I worked a lot before. Like, I can go on a 20-year maternity leave, like to kind of crack a joke.
Yeah.
But I feel like I still have to justify it to people. Like, almost it's not enough in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So I think that's something I'm still trying to find, even though it's beautiful and I'm very grateful for it, but still trying to find like meaning and a healthy self-esteem within this new role, I guess you could consider it in a way.
Right.
So that's something I've been battling with. Not crazy about where I live exactly, but I'm becoming more grateful, just the fact that we have this place and, it's serving its purpose. But I have felt more comfortable, kind of like you were saying, in other countries or even in other parts of this country, the US. My husband is great. He's a very, strict, serious guy, but I think, I really love the relationship that we have. I think we balance each other out pretty well because I don't take anything seriously. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what I'm trying to work through right now. I think finding new meaning in being a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Gabriella, because this is something that you're going to be dealing in this program, and you're going to start observing yourself. Oh, here it shows up again, and you're going to be observing. People are talking about when I'll come back to work, and here it's coming. And first time, you're going to observe and push it back. Second time, third. And on the fourth one, it's like, oh, it's here. You're not going to even get triggered. And that's where your muscle right now is weak. However, this program, human design program, is not designed for feminine and masculine dynamic. Ra Ruhu, he did not invent human design. It came to him from above. But human design also predicts where we're heading. And that's where sometimes I'm having a little I would say discomfort was 100% of human design, because human design says that generator mom, for example, can work easily 8 hours. But you see, there's difference. What means work? Because when we're mom cooking and cleaning, that's a work too. Do you get it? And will we have the energy to do cooking and cleaning and breastfeeding and bathing the baby if we went to 8 hour work? And so that's where I would say, no, the work again comes from us being, number one, a mom. Right now, Alec is already 9 years old. He's detaching more and more from me. So I hardly have time. I mean, 2, 3 hours a day, we play and we watch a movie, but the rest of the time, he's all about kids now and socializing. So I feel like, I can do more programs. I have energy for it. But right now, Gabriella, with regards to you, mom, if you're going to be doing projects right now, you'll feel guilty. Do you get it? There will not be the same bond. So I just want to share this. The way human design looks at things is it's okay for women to work, especially for generators. But I have to say that there's has to be still a feminine and masculine balance in place as well. We're still not designed to work 8 hours a day at work. So just want to bring this up. Anyone else wants to share, or we're going to move on? Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to get back to where I was. So now, if you bring your consciousness into your life where you've been out of tune with yourself, it's actually not a scary thing. It's a good feeling. So don't be afraid of it. Some people are afraid that they will wake up and realize that I'm living with a partner that I don't love. So what do I need to divorce? Well, if you've been going through emotional abuse or neglect, maybe it's the right thing. You can distance yourself and see, yeah, I'm actually happy alone. Then maybe it is divorce, or suffer for the rest of your life as the person who either physically, emotionally, or sexually abusing you. So we will have to confront that. You have a choice to wake up and make a decision. What's good for me? What's good for me, Samantha or Gabriella or Kristen? Or you realize that the friends who you're with, they're toxic, and it's okay to put the boundaries and stop being with friends and being friends with people who either take advantage of you, who disrespect you, or who lie to you, or who gossips behind your back, that you feel like it's just not right. It's okay to stop and move on. And there's a choice for you to continue to work in a job that you dislike, that drains you and your life out of you, which again, I believe is a state of modern slavery that we're currently in, and we're trying to fit in and stay because the benefits are good, or I have to pay my bills, or I gotta pay for my beautiful home. But this is again, is an illusion that you're gonna stay. You can be happy if you're glued to the job that you hate, or you're glued to a partner because you're scared that you're going to stay single and you're in your 40s, who are you going to find in your 40s? It's an illusion because it's costing you your happiness. So changes might happen for different people differently. Some might feel that you need to cry, and it's okay. Some of you are going to feel sad sometimes in this program. It's okay. Some of you might lose old friends that you have. That's also okay. Because real friends, you will never lose. They're going to stick around. Only the ones that are toxic or not good for you, they will leave. And they will be replaced with the kind friends, with the friends similar to you, where you're going to feel authentically happy. So, let's now begin talking about projectors and manifestors. Let me see who are projectors. Wherever, if there's more projectors, we'll start with projectors. If there's more generators, we're going to start talking about generators. So raise your hand if you're a projector. 1, 2. Kristen, you don't know?
Well, when I typed in the time, it changed me from a projector to a generator. But I feel like I'm totally a projector when I read it.
Okay. Well, again, there might be certain channels that are very similar to projectors because there's so many different generators and there's so many different projectors. And so just go with the way graph goes. If it's a generator, let me know. Is it a generator or manifesting generator?
Generator.
Generator. I know Ayana was a generator as well. Edith, I remember, is projector. Samantha is projector. Gabrielle is projector. So what do I choose? Well. For some reason, I am feeling going with generator. And we'll get to projector slightly later. So you ladies will understand how important generators for you, and we'll get shortly after to you. But make sure as you're listening about generators, even if you're a projector, how important they are for you, because you fully depend on them, and generators, you fully depend on projectors. We're this close, okay? So first of all, talking about generators, please know that there's 70% of us. So if you look around right and left, I'm very surprised that we have in our program right now 3 projectors. Usually there'll be 2 projectors. Will be 1 projector in our group, no reflectors and no manifestors. There's 3 of you. So this is pretty exciting because usually, again, there'll be 6 generators and only 1 projector. And there's 35% manifesting generators, and there's 35% regular generators. There's a little difference, but even if you are manifesting generator or a regular generator, please know that there's only 10% difference between you two. Otherwise, you are also generator, even though you have a calling for manifestation sometimes and being a manifestor, which you shouldn't do, by the way, but we'll talk about it. So for now, please know that only us manifesting generators and generators has this open aura like that it feels like it's a huge sunshine that can hug you like a blanket. That makes us very unique and different. We're like a big sunshine. Also, generators considered to be like holy people. Why? Because we have a sacral center. Let me stand up to show you. This is your stomach waist. Right below, there's a sacral center. And from the sacral center comes this energy. This energy doesn't belong to us. It comes to us from above, and it belongs to people. But we get to choose who we're gonna share the sacral energy. It's our internal battery with everyone. And so projector comes into our life. They're like a plug-in. They plug into us because they need our battery, our energy, because they don't have. Think about it this way. This is the sacral center right here. Projectors, manifestors, reflectors have it clear. It's white like this. Us generators have it actually red color. And that's what our source of energy, it comes from here. And so this world belongs really to us generators and manifesting generators. We build it. Projectors, we'll talk about it later. They can engineer it, have a vision and idea, but who builds this is us. So everybody depends on us. And we can also call generators and manifesting generators, again, holy like a cow. In India, if you hurt a cow, you can go to prison. They produce milk. From milk, you can do butter and yogurt and all kinds of sour cream and products. And so you can live. And they're considered to be a mother. Same as generators. Some people come, our friends come to our home and they say, can we stay longer? Because I'm manifesting generator, my husband is generator, and people feel so cozy. They're like, can we have a sleepover? Because people don't want to leave. They feel very comfortable and cozy because we have this huge source of this battery and energy that we share. Now, generators, when we wake up, they usually have battery charged up, and we're going like a sunshine. We give it freely to everyone. And that's why generators, almost like this feeling of love, they share. And their main thing is to come here to answer the question, who am I? So in a way, they're very self-centered and try to discover, who am I? What makes me happy? Well, who am I? Who am I? Do you get it? It's very important to discover yourself and what makes you happy. And you're constantly looking. But there's a big problem with manifestors and with generators and manifesting generators. Our biggest problem is that even though we're born with the sacral center, that is almost like a godly center that talks to us 24/7. But our society made us block the center and stop listening to it. What do I mean by that? Especially in Western society, we get programs like Tony Robbins. By the way, I was a seminar leader for a similar program like Tony Robbins for many years. He actually graduated from this program and opened himself as a Tony Robbins, where I was programmed to believe that, yes, go do it harder, get results, and you'll be happy. Not only that, I spent 5 years learning and growing in this program. I became a seminar leader and leading those programs, and I became more and more anxious and stressed. Because we, as generators and also projectors, are not designed to make decisions with our head. Do you get it? And marketing strategists are doing everything to promote and sell it to us. Who wins from these programs? Yeah, I was a Tony Robbins girl. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. And I was a landmark education girl, which is very similar to Tony Robbins for many years. And if manifestor, and there's 8% of them, think of Donald Trump. Don't think about politics right now, Republican or Democrats. I'm talking about energy. Okay? Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, they're manifestors. They came to rule. They almost like have a crown in their head and telling you, fire you, go build a house here, build a palace here. We're making this new law. They have this kind of an energy that is closed off like this, and they're ruling the world. And for them, those programs are fantastic. Go bring results because they're born to have power and they're always looking who can they influence. But for generators and projectors, it destroys us, literally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, because we're not meant to go do the results. Because what you need to get for generators, We don't care about success. Projectors, it's not for you. You do care about success. But generators do not. They care about journey. I don't care whether I'm gonna make 1,000, 500, or $50 from this program. What I care about as a generator, the process. Do you get it? The process of teaching you, giving you the energy. And this is what brings me a fulfillment. That's what, in a nutshell, generators who are awakened, they are not chasing a job. They're listening to their, again, sacral center that has a device. And this device, if you can learn this, ladies, you will be happy for the rest of your life. And for those, if you know your partners or relatives are generators, teach them that. It's very simple. The device has a baby language. It cannot say yes, no, logically, blah, blah, blah. It says, mm-mm, mm-hmm. It's like, nah, yeah. It's kind of, do you want to get an ice cream? Mm-hmm. And your eyes kind of get like that. Means sacral center wants to get an ice cream. Do you want to go to a Thai restaurant? Yeah. It's kind of talks like that, meaning you're not interested to get a Thai restaurant. Even though generators sometimes need time. For example, I'm inviting my hubby to go to Turkey for the retreat. And I told him, let's go, you can have a vacation, and our son can go to the beach and hike while I'm going to be on the retreat or afterwards. He says, sure. But 2, 3 days later, he comes, he's like, you know what? No, I don't feel like it. His sacral center is telling him that he will have to work, he have to worry about Wi-Fi because it's a new company that he works and opened up. And so his sacral center said, mm-mm. But we learn again in our modern society to go with our head. I gotta work. I gotta work. And this is the worst thing you can do to generators say, oh, you have a job, you make $60,000, but you know, you can go to this sister company and make $70,000 and you can get a better car and better benefits. And the poor generator who is happy in his or her job now is catching up to a new sister company where he has to work now or she has to work 2, 3 hours more a day and has more responsibilities or more employees or a worse boss just because someone else said, but you can make $10,000 more. And the sacral center said, mm-mm, don't do it. So far, what questions do you have? Start thinking about it. How, especially as a generator, you're constantly relying on your head, but in the reality, we call it gut feeling, intuition that is telling you no. And what happens to us as a generators when we are going against our sacral central device with our head, we start to lose our battery. We know that this is not the right guy, that this is not the right job, but we're pushing ourselves. We're pushing ourselves to go to this work and date this person or be in a relationship with them. Our battery that is like love and hugs everybody starts to go down. And then we start having less and less energy. So, any questions so far with regards to generator and manifesting generator? Gabriella, who is your husband?
Actually, funny, my husband and my son are both manifesting generators. So for sure. So this is helpful.
Very helpful because you constantly need them to get the energy. And if you're going to be an awakened projector, oh my God, the results that they're going to get is pretty fascinating. We'll talk shortly about projectors, but so far, I would like for you to start thinking about the questions about generators and manifesting generators.
I did have a question actually for generators, for both, I guess. So that gut feeling that they have, what usually happens when they don't listen to it?
When they don't listen to it, they go with their head. For example, I will share with you. I wanted to go to Canada. Was it last month we went? And I kind of wanted, but I wasn't 100% enrolled because my friend invited me. But I thought it would be great to see the city, be in the snow because Alec wanted it. Hobby did not want it. We get to Canada because one of the generators is not center agreed to it and excited. Guess what? Everyone's energy is down. So you cannot manipulate, dominate, or pressure generator or manifesting generator to do something that they don't want to. That's why. For example, I'm heading to Mexico in 2 weeks. I'm asking Hobby, do you want to go? He's like, I need time to think about it. Now he has time to think about it because right now he's so busy at work. He cannot just feel the sacred center that says, I'm excited. So if he's like, no, no, it is because if the generator doesn't want to go to the party and he goes, he will have the worst time and everyone will have a worse time because everybody plugs in into generator. Do you get it? If I'm right now not with my full battery charged, let's say my relationship is not working or I'm not excited about human design, I don't like it, you will feel it immediately. Because if generator is like resigned because they're not following their sacral center, everyone will be unhappy. They have this huge source. It's a big battery. Get it? Everyone, manifestors, reflectors, projectors, you all plug in into us. You need us. We are the source of energy. It's like, think about it. Dark room. You open the curtains, you go in the balcony, and the sunshine. This is who generators are. And we have the energy of like a blanket. We're like hugging you, we're loving you, we're giving you, take. But at the same time, generators have to be very careful who they give energy to because we're so open, we give it right and left, right and left. And if you give without your sacral center saying, and you give it to the wrong people because logically it makes sense because they're rich, they can help me to get a better job or introduce me to a better person, or because I need to go to this vacation because my boss will be there, they'll give me an advancement. Because you're making the decisions with your head, this battery will come down and you'll be like this sad, numb, and resigned. When projectors don't listen to themselves, they're bitter. When generators don't listen to their sacral center, they're resigned. Again, in 2027, Rara who said we'll have more and more projectors climbing into political ladder. And so the political system gonna start changing. And so people after 2027, projectors that will be born, they gonna have a different center. Right now, we're living with this center. This center for all of us is working where we make decision in our head. The new projectors who are coming after 2027, we're going to see it obviously in 2037, in 2047, when they're going to start getting older. They will be ruling with this center. This is the emotional center that actually predicts the future and what ecologically better decisions we got to take for humanity. And so our world going to start drastically shifting after those babies are coming after 2027. But for now, we are actually don't have this luxury. We need to learn to just connect as generators and manifesting generators to our sacral center. This is the access to our true happiness. Otherwise, we're violating ourselves. Now, the biggest difference between now manifesting, oh, Gabrielle is not here, and it will be good for her to know. Any questions so far?
Yes. How do you balance that like the need to be, I guess, good to others without being like overly selfish about yourself, if that makes sense. That's not really worded very well. But because obviously you said generators, I feel it in myself when even in my daily life, I definitely put myself first. But I'm saying like how do you do that in a way where it's not too much that you're kind of like going against the rights of other people, you know?
Yeah, yeah. First of all, let me share that, Ayana. When you are happy, when you are happy, everyone around you gonna be happy and respectful towards what you need. Let me share an example. So here I am in South Africa with two of my girlfriends, and there's such a beautiful harmony where my girlfriend wants to do one thing. She wants to go for a walk, and I want to go ride a bicycle, and another girlfriend wants to just sit in front of the fountain. And we just fully allow ourselves to do a different thing, and no one feels guilty that no, I don't want to ride a bike, no, I don't want to sit in front of the fountain, and or no, I don't want to go for a walk. Everybody does their own thing, and that's what happens when you're spiritually wake up. You don't need to go and fix somebody and make them feel good or feel bad that they're gonna feel bad. Like I could have felt like, oh, my mother-in-law will be so upset that I'm not going to her birthday yesterday. But I know that if I'm a manifesting generator, will come to her birthday exhausted because I had to do so many yard work yesterday. It was a beautiful day, but I got physically tired afterwards, and I have no energy to go to a birthday party that is 1 hour away, and I don't like a long rides in a car. And I'm like, why will I go sacrifice myself, come with a exhausted face like that, and who will win? Nobody. And I said, honey, I love you. I will see you on Sunday in the park because I'm just tired and I need to rest because I'm leading the program on Saturday. She said, absolutely. And she gave me the heart. That's it. You just, Ayana, gotta learn to fully put yourself first. You don't feel that you'd want to meet with a girlfriend who is asking you for a coffee. Don't feel bad because people who love you, they will understand, appreciate, and respect your decision that you don't feel like going for a coffee. That's okay. It's okay. What are you hearing, Ayan?
Um, I do agree with that. I don't know, like my friends are visiting from out of town right now, and they're actually just went out, oh, maybe like right before class started. And they actually invited me, but I didn't want to go. So that's what I said to them weeks ago. I was like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. I don't have a problem with that. I think I just um I don't know. I guess I'm just thinking.
Yes, and do you see how you go back again? I guess I did it too much, or don't worry about head. Go back to your sacral center. It says, I want to stay home right now on the couch and listen to the music or watch my favorite movie or read a book or do whatever that you want and honor that. When you're happy, everyone is happy. Learning to listen to ourself and our gut feeling. Now, since we're talking about also generators, generators have sometimes they open ego center and sometimes it's colored. Do you see this? This is right here. We'll talk about it next week, but for now, if this center is colored, it's one thing. But if it's open, cleared like this, you are easily influenced, much more easily influenced. So, for example, you saw a commercial and somebody else told you, time to go to Tony Robbins. You gotta be successful and make better income. You will be the first to register. Someone will tell you, you know what? you should take your kids not to this gymnastics, but this gymnastics. It's better. Even though your sacral center says, no, we like it here, you will take them there. You're very easily influenced, especially when it has to do with, well, you don't feel like you're worthy enough, successful enough. So people can easily manipulate you to make decision that is good for them, but not for you. So please know that if you have this channel, ego center, that is cleared, you're much more easily influenced, and you have to disconnect from your head what people are telling you, and even more, listen to your sacral center.
I think that's it. That's where my question was. Yes.
Awesome. Beautiful. Now let's talk about manifesting generators and generators. For those who are manifesting generators, the one thing that you go that is very, very challenging for you, because let's say the generator will be working doing a task that takes 4 hours easily, 6 or 8 hours, taking a time and doing it. Manifesting generator comes, the task that should be done in 4 hours, she or he does it in 2 hours. And then it goes on top of it on to the swimming. It goes hiking. Then it goes gardening. Then it goes to a coffee with one friend, to a coffee to another with another friend, does another project, comes home, checks emails, and does 10 different things and goes to bed crushed without any energy. For generators, it's good too, for especially man or woman, for men to work 8 hours and do the work at home, for example, blowing leaves and cutting grass, and come to bed tired. For manifesting generators, you got to leave 30% room for you because you're overstretching yourself. So sometimes when I meet manifesting generators, I want to hold them and hug them and say, slow down, don't push yourself too much, because they have so many interests and they think they have 8 arms and they can do all 8 or 10 things. And so manifesting generators gotta really, really slow down. If I don't do sometimes my hour meditation, I have a tendency to run and do it all. And then I have to remind myself, I am overstretching myself, should slow down. Makes sense? And the biggest difference again, think about a candle. A generator works like a candle, slowly burning, and it takes 2-3 hours to fully burn. Manifesting generator, because it has this energy of manifester, it sparkles, but it burns really fast, like in 5 minutes. 5 minutes versus 3 hours. And that's why also manifesting generator thinks that they can manifest, but they can. Now, please listen. This is the core importance about manifesting generators and generators in general. For example, I had a calling to do a retreat in Turkey. Because I have a calling from Sacral Center, I can do retreat in Turkey. Now, we'll share the example. Someone else calls me and say, let's do the retreats in Turkey. And I have no calling to do it. I cannot do it. I have no calling from a belly center. If I do it, it will be a failure. Make sense? So manifesting generators and generators cannot really manifest the project. For example, say, okay, I will start creating Teslas. No, manifestors can start creating Teslas. But generators and manifesting generators can come afterwards and say, we also want to create Teslas and create similar Teslas somewhere else, but they're never the first one to manifest something that hasn't ever been done. This is not for generators or manifesting generators. This is the key. If the person does it because the head says it's a great idea, it's going to be a disaster. It only has to rely on the sacral center. Any questions? Nothing? Okay. Again, the sacral center doesn't speak like logic. It makes kind of sounds like a baby. Yeah, nay, like that. And the generator just has to learn to listen. And if you have been ignoring yourself for a long time and you're suppressed, your logic is so loud that it doesn't even let you get in tune to your sacral center. That's why I recorded a guided meditation that's going to start healing this process. And after you listen to guided meditation, sometimes you would want to cry. Allow yourself to cry. Sometimes you'll have a feeling and you will again, I'll give you exercise to do so you can start clearing space in your life so you can actually start listening to yourself. Otherwise, if everything is not working, the job and relationship and where you live and who you're friends with, it's going to be very hard for you generators to learn to listen to it. Now, if we have no questions about manifesting generators, I'm going to start moving to projectors. No questions? I guess not.
Most of my questions are, how does a projector support that? So I'll just listen.
Yeah. That's going to be really great. We will talk about projectors in a second.
I just have one quick question. When it comes to trying to quiet the mind, I've just been doing like morning remembrance, basically, to try and get out of my mind. Is that to help build up my intuition again, like my feelings? Like you said, I think you were saying, well, I don't think you were saying how you can be easily influenced by what other people think you should be doing.
Yeah.
And that's something that I struggled with. It depends on the situation. In some ways I struggle with it, in other ways not so much. So just clearing that out, would you just recommend like that morning meditation?
Morning meditation is beautiful and definitely helps out. But right now, why we're in this program is I again created not spiritual or religious at all meditation to start healing process. That's number one. Number two, we gotta do two very powerful exercises that's gonna help. But on a daily basis, if you can do the prayer or meditation, that always helps because you are connecting. What's the main point of meditation? To connect to yourself, to really connect to yourself. What makes you happy? What do you feel? Where is the struggle in life? And you can give all of your struggles to Creator, and you can ask for guidance, you can ask for support, and you get to the point at some later where you don't even have to ask anything. You fully surrender because Creator has only your interest. If He sends you struggle, it's because you need those struggles, because struggles are there for us to pass the lessons. Because some religion are telling us, oh, because that's how God wants to punish you. This is, I believe, medieval kind of thinking process, in my opinion, because God is nothing but love. And sometimes we're not learning until we go through hardship. I want to share with you example. Back in my early 30s, I really loved dancing. I actually danced all my life. But at some point in my early 30s, when I didn't just want to dance salsa and bachata, which was my big hobby, and I was semi-pro at back then. I saw a dance, zouk, Brazilian zouk, beautiful dance, but very complicated dance. And back then, because I was not spiritually growing, I just couldn't get why I get injuries all the time, all the time. And all of a sudden, now I'm dancing Brazilian zouk. First, my back really started to hurt. Then my middle back started to really hurt. Then I started having a really terrible neck pains, and then the migraine head started to happen. But I was still getting to physical therapy, chiropractors, and doing also obviously my practice, private practice. And I couldn't tell that was it practice or was it dancing, but constantly injuries, hip, leg, back, neck, obviously. Obviously, my body was telling me, stop dancing, but I didn't. So, on the second year of dancing Zouk, all of a sudden, one morning, I cannot get up. I feel almost as if my lower back, like there's three discs, were paralyzed and they're pushing all of the pain, shooting in my legs. And any move that I'm making with my spine or my legs, it's from 1 to 10, it's 11. And I'm screaming and crying, screaming and crying. And I was in so much pain. On the third day, as I'm crying, I started to laugh. I finally got that I need to just stop this dance that is just really deteriorating my whole body. And I finally got, oh, I get it. I get it. And so we need those painful lessons in order to learn something. And so now I never push myself physically. When I'm running in the morning, I literally run. My husband walks past next to me, and I'm slowly running. Because if I push myself physically hard, I'm deteriorating. My body is not meant for hard physical activities. My strength is my throat. And human design literally taught me that well. So if I dance now for hobby, little bit of dancing and bachata, it's never semi-pro or advanced level. It's for fun. Do you get it? Even though I don't do this lately. But what I'm trying to say is through all of this painful lessons, breaks up, divorces, or toxic friends, we're learning. Creator only wants the best for us. And he just shares that. And human design also shows that, oh no, this is Mars planet came. And when Mars or Saturn comes, a lot of hardship happens if you haven't been listening to your body. And so Mars or Saturn is definitely waking you up and like, okay, whatever you're doing, you got to start paying attention. Otherwise, you kind of deteriorating. And for projectors and generators especially, it's our health. Any questions about manifesting generators or generators? So we can move to projectors. Yeah? Okay, wonderful. All right, so let's talk about projectors. You ladies, projectors, obviously generators as well, but projectors have also a very special place in my heart because you are the smartest, the most intelligent ones. A lot of times, genius ones are the projectors. And projectors are very distinct, and we'll delve into your centers and channels a little bit later in other classes. But today I'll just tell you that yes, you are the smartest one. Please think of it as this way. Generator is the horse and projector is the rider. You are riding generators. But one thing that you need to learn, and the sooner you learn this, you will be the most successful ones because you meant for success, is that you cannot compete with generators. We need each other. You need generator and generator needs you. It's kind of like a husband and wife relationship. Nobody needs each other as much as projectors for generators and generators for projectors. You came only 240 years ago. The reason why you came 240 years ago is to replace slowly manifestors. Again, who are the manifestors? They are the ones who are wearing the crown. Don't think again politics, that I'm saying Donald Trump or Putin is bad or good. It's not about that. Push the politics out of it. But their energy is over kings and queens. And so they say, we are doing XYZ. And so a lot of people are defensive towards this manifesting energy. And you, projectors, are very, in a Vedic language, it would have sounded like you have a very thin layer where you are naturally good psychologists, counselors, because when you come in contact with the person, your aura is not like a sunshine, like a generator. You have an aura. Have you been in the mall where you see machines for kids where the arm goes down and picks up this toy? You've seen that, right? You have an aura that goes and sees the best quality, the strongest quality in a generator. Manifestor will just be like a vampire. Like, why are you coming to look at me? Don't look at me. And they'll run away from you. But your energy comes and generator's like, okay, show me what is my strengths, what is my best quality. And do you see? You are showing the generator, here, your best quality is that you are smart in this field, or you are wise and you should do it like that. You're basically, with your questions, discovering generator for themselves, because you are looking at the people with this laser light and you see like a microscope people, like you have this telescope or microscope and you see quality in a generator or anyone else like nobody. Only you can see those special talents in a human being, and no one else can. For example, if you will be a therapist, you will find a needle in the hay, and it will take you maybe 2 or 3 sessions. It will take me 2 or 3 months to find this needle because I am not even designed to find the needle. What I'll do as a generator, I'll like open my beam of sunshine, and that's what I use to either heal the people or give them love, because humanity is lacking love. But you have the special talent to finding that special, again, under microscope, the quality in generator. And generator start to see, oh, my strength is not to be a runner, but actually be a mechanic. So let me be a mechanic. And now you're empowering them. How will they benefit to being mechanic? How humanity will benefit to being mechanic? What kind of cars they'll fix and how they'll fix. And so they're now fulfilled and happy being mechanics instead of being a runner, hypothetically. Does this make sense? You are like a parrot sitting on a generator and questioning him. Why is he doing it this certain way? Will that bring results? What benefits will that give him or her? And by these natural questions, they start to wake up to see, oh, I actually hate this job. I actually don't like this relationship. I actually don't like the town I'm living in. And you're like a flashlight guiding them in the right direction. And in the process, because the generator sees that you are there to guide him or her, they start to trust you. And the beauty, now you have this really relationship like that because you already show that you care by asking them the right questions. And now they're awake and they see their purpose. They fully trust you. You can tell generator, go right, they'll go right. Go left, they'll go left. That is your power. And so each generator, please know, is seeking projector. We need you. We need you so bad. You have no idea how much I hate systems, IT programs, and writing the emails and doing editing and all of this stuff. Of course, I have people doing it. But until I find a projector who is awakened, I will never be able to share the programs, the feminine spiritual programs, and all of my passion and knowledge with as many people and give as much love until I find this one right projector. So each projector is seeking his or her generator, and each generator is seeking her or his projector. We need each other like this. Because, give you example, my human design teacher was very well, doing great. Again, he's a generator and he doesn't care about being successful. But he all of a sudden comes across a projector who comes on board, brings the system, because your main thing, you bring the system in place that starts to work. And you manage things that starts to work, whether you're going to come into economics or government or any company or any family system. You bring in something that makes the thing flow and work now with efficiency. And you do it very gently, not with a whip like manifestors. You're a natural psychologist. And when you do that, generators start to get results. They get fulfilled. And think of it this way. If a generator will see a bike, it will go to work. You see a bike, you're thinking how to make a bike lighter and faster for the generator so they can go to work faster and be more efficient. But there is a secret to you projectors, and this is a big one. What you do, because you're the smartest of all, if we're talking about reflectors and manifestors and generators, projectors are the smartest. But because you're the smartest, you come into the space and start giving your advices right and left. Or you go with your arm and like, oh, here's your strength, and you start dictating and telling what people do. And that's when people shut you off. And they push you away. They're like, why are you giving me advice? I didn't ask you for advice. And that's how you become bitter. You become bitter. It's like, wow, they don't see my strength. They don't see how smart I am, and I want the best for you. Because generator has to choose you to be their projector. And if they haven't chosen you, you will be rejected. And that's why the problem now with projectors is that before they will even say anything, they already, before time, feel hurt. They almost know that they will be rejected. Because the most important thing for projectors is to learn to be patient. Patience, so that generator will tell you, I see that you are the one, and they are inviting you. You come be my dance instructor. You be my trainer in running. You be my guru in blah, blah, blah. And when they choose you, and you have to also choose them, because there's 20 generators, and they all can build, let's say you're an engineer, can build your car, but you say like, oh, you have only 5 years experience. No. You have 8 years of experience. No. You, I don't think you're smart enough. Oh, you, yeah, you, I can work with you. And so you are choosing your generator. And this generator invites you and says, I want you, not anybody else, you to be my trainer, my projector, my wife, my date. Yes, the date has to choose you. The manager gotta choose you and invite you for work. Makes sense? And then this is your generator who you can shine your light into and make this generator the successful one. And the beauty of it, imagine that you're now training this person to be a champion. Let's say gymnastics. You're training this person because you chose this generator. This generator chose you. Because this generator wants to be fulfilled, they don't even care that they got the Olympic gold medal. They can even give you this gold medal and say to the whole world, I am the champion because Samantha was my trainer. But the problem with you projectors, you're competing with generators. You are thinking that generators need success. We don't care about success. We care about the journey. Do you get it? Let's say hypothetically that I am next Tony Robbins. Hypothetically, I don't care about being Tony Robbins. I care about touching people and making difference for them, the journey. But you are the ones who made me, hypothetically, projectors. You made me with your system in place and guiding me become a Tony Robbins. Do you get it? This is how really powerful the relationship between projectors and generators. And projectors who are asleep, they will asking questions in a way to make generators lose. For example, trying to compete. Let's say that you are the best mathematician and you meet another mathematician and you start asking questions to put that generator down to prove that you're smarter. And if you do that, you're competing with generators. And the goal is to empower generator to win. If the generator wins, you are winning. So, so my human design teacher has this projector now. Amazing. She's just wow. And I called her and I said, do you mind bringing the same system into my programs? Oh, and by the way, projectors, you guys don't have energy like battery, like we generators do. You cannot work more than 4 hours a day, at the most 2 hours. And so this projector, her name is Alicia. She works only 2 hours for my human design teacher. And I said, can you work for just 30 minutes a day or 45 minutes a day, bringing your system to place into my programs? And she says, let me ask my human design teacher. And he tripled her salary. So she cannot even think about going anywhere else. Do you get how valuable you are? That if a generator gets his or her projector, it will hold on to the projector with all arms and legs. And he's paying her really good salary to just work for 2 hours per day. Because that's how smart and incredible you are. You're not meant, you gotta wake up whenever you want to have your croissant or coffee or bubble bath, whatever, and then into group and like, oh, now I can work from 12 to 2. And you get paid more than anyone else, well, besides the manifestors. And you work only maximum 2.5 hours, very seldom 4 hours, because you are already know how the system, how to better the system. You are empowering the generators. Do you get it? Because what happens is manifestors' energy goes up and down like that. Their emotional center is like goes explosion, and then they have no energy. We're talking about people like Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. Their energy goes up and down, unless they don't have an emotional center, which is very rare. But your energy goes like this, like this, like this. But if you are surrounded yourself with a lot of generators, you take all of their energy, and now you work even more than a generator. And that's how, please know, you should also know that you are asleep. You are everywhere and doing everything all at the same time. That means you are not living a life of a projector, because projector energy goes soft and you can work only for 2 hours and then you're down. But the problem with you, again, also projectors, you have no patience to wait for your generator to invite you. You shouldn't be waited to go for a coffee again or to movie theater. You can call anyone and go. But for main things, choosing a husband who is like, you gotta wait for a husband to ask you to marry him, for example, or ask someone to date you, or being asked to a project. You gotta wait. You gotta shine your light, meaning you blog, you talk to people, you share your knowledge. But you gotta know that you cannot share also your knowledge in a group of 10 or 20, 30 people. You can do it one-on-one because your arm and flashlight can see the strength of a generator when you're connecting one-on-one. When there's 20 people around you, you get lost and your microscope and telescope is not working. Also, please know, projectors usually are the victims of domestic abuse, emotional abuse. And I'll explain how. Because you have this light and you enter to generators center to see their strength, like nobody else can see the generator strength like you are. You cross the boundaries easily with people because you do that. You also allow others to cross boundaries with you. And so if you're married to generator and generator tells you, so why are you staying home? If you're so smart, you should be making money like me, bringing the money, show how smart you are. This stabs you so hard in the heart and you're starting to feel, I guess, yes, I guess I have to work. And you start working and doing the job of a generators. And a sleeping generator goes to work and does what everybody else does, survives. And if generator somehow can survive and they're resign, you projector fall apart health-wise and deteriorate really fast because you're not meant to push papers around. You're too smart for that. You're meant to do things like engineering, architect, being consultants, being freelancers. You are not designed to work 9 to 5. When I see projectors working on the constructions, doing a $7 job, or being in the McDonald's, or doing the task that is not meant for them, I feel like, oh my God, when will this person wake up and see that they are projectors? They are the smartest ones. And generators usually feel like, oh my God, how can somebody be smarter than me? But yes, you are. And you gotta own that. With regards to kids, projectors, if you have a child that is projector, they are more sensitive than any other kids. You can never say, yeah, you can never criticize any child, but especially projectors. Because projectors take it to the heart and they feel like, okay, something is really, really, really wrong with me. So if you see that your child is saying 2 plus 2 equals 5, say, you're doing a great job learning math. Let them take time to learn that it equals 4. Because if you say, no, it's 4, you really got to do better. That's it. You're stabbing them in the heart. Just, yeah, no criticism. They're very, very smart. And that's why projector child, if they learn at age 3 and 4 how to draw, they'll start teaching you. They'll start teaching you how to draw. And you gotta start, oh, teach me, please. Yeah, Edis is saying I'm getting it. Perfect, Edis. It's so good to have you. Where's your sister?
So my sister, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Edith.
Okay. So my sister was on transit, so she was not able like to log in and open the camera. Yeah,
Got it.
she's driving. Mhm.
Got it. I will share the recording with her later. No problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Emma, great to have you. I know it's probably very late or very early where you are, but if you can turn on the camera and be with us, that will be also great. So far, any questions about projectors or generators? What are you getting so far? What are you learning about yourself?
I do have a question.
Yes.
And I actually love that this got brought up because in our other group chat, we were discussing not too long ago about giving advice.
Yes.
And why it is like be selective. And then it was right after that we started getting into the human design. And I was like, I am someone that I am very afraid to give advice. I feel like I've always had a voice that people listen to and take it and go.
Yeah.
And that really makes me nervous because I don't want to lead people astray. Ugh.
Yeah, yeah. And this is the biggest problem of a projector in particular, because you're so smart, because you sometimes even know better than someone else. You feel like you gotta share what you know. But the problem is when somebody's not asking, you will be rejected. And then you will be upset because you gotta wait for your generator who will invite you. Come and give advice. And for that, for projectors, it's so hard. Why do I need to wait? Because you came into the world not with this question, who I am, but who are you? This is very different. Who are you next to me? And when projectors hears that, they're like, but what about me? What about my happiness? What about my life? And they feel very, very upset about it. Because you came for success and to make who successful? Generators who do not care about success. Generator success to generator is fulfillment, but it is your success. But if you're competing with generator, generator sees you're asleep. I don't want you on my team. Generators is constantly scanning and looking, where is my projector? And generator will do this. Are you the one? No. Are you the one? No. Generators are constantly fishing. They're fishing. They're looking for projectors. And when they see that projector is asleep, it's the worst disappointment. It's like, okay, where's my projector? Where? We're hungry for projectors. But we're also waiting for the one who is awakened, because awakened projector doesn't compete with generator. It guides. It guides. Because you have a telescope, microscope. But when you don't understand your strength as a projector, you go with this telescope and you're like, boom, banging the nails on the construction, or you banging refrigerator or a stove trying to be a cook. This is how ridiculous it is. And this is what you do with yourself. And that's how you become bitter. Because you don't see your strength. Projector, again, comes into any family dynamic, into a career, into a government, and it puts in place the system where everything starts to flow. I'm like, Alisa, tell me your secret. My human designs teacher, the projector. She said, well, I see this person is good at editing. I see this person is good at marketing. I see this good person, the human design teacher. He's just good at relaxing and leading the program. And so I create that space. With her space, it just has 5 different generators who are doing the little task. And so the human design teacher leads the program. She puts the system in place and everybody in their right places. This is the beauty of the projectors. You see with your flashlight or this hand something that nobody else can. Yeah.
I did have a question actually. I've definitely been that person in previous friends groups. Especially it would frustrate me in a sense where a friend, I should say old friends of mine, would be complaining about something that they want. And it's like, I have the thing that you want. Why aren't you asking me any questions? You know what I mean? Like, so it would get very frustrating sometimes.
Yes.
But in lots of different arenas before. So my question is, as a projector, is surrounding yourself with generators who aren't giving you that invitation, even if you keep your advice to yourself and you know all that kind of stuff. But if you continue to surround yourself with generators who aren't giving you that invitation or don't see it, does that also kind of like deteriorate you or in a way, or is it more of like an ego thing?
It is definitely an ego thing because, again, if every generator feels the projector, generators, we feel projectors, we feel you, and you projector feels us. It's like, again, it's like a marriage. And so each generator, sometimes it's even tries a different projector to see, does it feel right? Or it doesn't feel right. And so the projector also, you see, for example, what projectors do, your strength, you decided to build a racket. You're not going to get any generators to build your racket. You will be choosing your generators. This is not it. This is not. This is not. This. Yes, yes, you. You have 20 years of experience. You worked at NASA. You're da 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 da. You're choosing those. And what generators does, it also, because we have the sacral center, and if the generator feels that the projector doesn't compete and wants to empower the generator, it feels the connection. But the moment a generator feels that the projectors competes, the system like this, it goes like that. And generator will have a harder time to like, okay, this projector is still asleep. I'm going to continue doing the search. That's what the generator does. And so we're talking about the generators and projectors who are awakened. And projectors that is asleep is constantly is, let me give you advice here, give me advice here. The biggest sign that projector is asleep, it will tell you without no one asking you your advice. This is the biggest sign that projector is still asleep. Or not only that, it will share the advice, it will also beg. Can I come to soccer game and just train in the back your team? This is projector begging. See how well of a trainer I am. Or can I come to your class as a second teacher and teach 5-year-old music? If you ever have to do that, the generator definitely sees that you are not his or her projector. Make sense? So your goal is to continue learning your craft. You projector have 7 years. For example, manifestors really have to change what they do every 2-3 years. They get really bored fast. For example, me being hypnotherapist and coach and a counselor for 20 years, 21 and a half years, this is too much. I was like suffocating the past 10 years because that's not natural for manifesting generators. You will see me doing relationships and now human design and doing spirituality because manifesting generators get tired of doing the same thing. Now, for you projectors, you have 7 years to become an expert in a field, and then you will be shining, and people will see that, yes, you are the expert in the field. And as you're blogging or doing the video or showing or sharing something that generators will say, yeah, you are the one. You are the one. Questions?
I've got one more question. Sorry, it kind of lags when my camera's on sometimes. But so if let's hypothetically you are married to a generator like Gabby is, are you waiting for individual invitations every time, or is like the asking to be married the invitation?
Asking to be married, invitation. Big things like getting a job, you gotta wait for invitation, because if you're gonna get a job where you haven't been invited, but you're like, oh, okay, it will be a good of a candidate, well, you will never be appreciated. And for projectors like no one else, you need that appreciation and acknowledgement that you are the smartest one. Because of you, the generators are succeeding. You need that admiration like no one else. Generators, we just need fulfillment. I love doing this, it's awesome. But you need that admiration and appreciation, because thanks to you, the generator is now Tony Robbins or Oprah or whoever, because you made it. If you are awakened, behind each successful generator is a projector. And generator will be happily give you the success. They're not greedy. The problem is projectors that you don't understand generators. They don't care about the crown. They'll give you the crown. You will not share it because you're the projector. You gotta, I invented the Tesla. I built this racket. You want this appreciation, admiration, and acknowledgments. Generators don't. Generators is about who am I? I want to be fulfilled. But your main thing is about generator. If you're focusing on yourself, you are asleep. Wake up and find your generator. Make that generator successful. And if that generator chose you, or manifesting generator chose you, that's it. You're a team. You will be unstoppable. Sky is the limit. But the little things here and there with regards to husband and everything else, no. Big things, projects, getting married, things like that. That is a big things. Any other questions?
I'm so sorry, I've got more on that. I appreciate your answer.
Absolutely.
I guess I'm just trying to feel out where the difference, because I've also heard and understand the criticism of a man. And as a projector married to if you find a generator that you marry to, how do you not make them feel like you are constantly questioning them if you're constantly questioning them in a way?
Yeah. That is sometimes dilemma between a projector and generator, because generator husband will usually feel that he is not as smart as a projector. And if we go back to the programs that I led before, that's where you, because you are the smartest one, you do the admiration, you do the appreciation, you do the acknowledgement, and you also share with others how proud you are of your husband. And so that's how you soften your energy. Now, I also will share that the first few years of my marriage, husband didn't know my income, because if my husband knew that my income was 3 times higher than his, can you imagine how much it would hurt his ego? I would just find the reasons to say that I have to do taxes separate. And I was not sharing, even though I was working only 4 hours a week. And so we have to be responsible. If our income is higher, you got to figure it out how to hide it. Get it? And when you do the cooking and when you do the Singing, dancing, cleaning, you still do that. Um, you're still connecting to your feminine energy, even though human design says, which where I will be honest with you, I don't agree. But human design says that projectors are the worst mothers. They are not designed to change the diapers and cooking and cleaning because they're too smart. But at the same time, the human design says, because you are so smart, you cannot just do the diaper changing or any kind of gaming with kids. You have to be interested in what you're doing with children. If you're interested in what you're doing with kids, then children will feel that and they'll be happy. But if you're making yourself do something against you, you will be bored, resigned because you're too smart to being a mom. The kid's gonna feel that. The generator mom usually has a lot of energy to drive. By the way, this is how you will know, Christine, if you're a generator or not. Projectors don't have energy to generate and go drive a son here and do this and do that. Projectors get really tired easily. The generators, they can do this and this and this and this and that. Make sense? Yeah, unless again, if we're suppressed somewhere, like your job is suppressing you, there might be a possibility that you're feeling suppressed because it takes a lot of your energy away.
I have a question. So, when you were talking about projector children, because they are really smart,
Yeah,
and you were saying, like, when they're little, like, don't tell them they're wrong, they'll figure it out, which they
yeah.
do. But I think I failed there because I was like, oh, like, let's make this project better, or we don't get B's in this house, you have to get an A. Like, is that gonna now my children are older, is that affecting them? Like, or because
Let
I
me
feel like my daughter's a little self-conscious, and I don't know if I did that or something.
Yeah, usually actually projector's mom do that, but sometimes also generator's mom are accustomed to do that as well, but especially projectors. They want their children to succeed, and that's why they'll ask, no B's here allowed, no C's here allowed. No matter whether your child is projector, reflector, or generator, they're going to be greatly impacted by it, but especially reflector and projectors. Projector kids and reflector kids also, but there's only 1% of them are very, very, very sensitive to that. And so absolutely it impacts them. But what can you do? They chose you and they knew that you will put them through that lesson. You also made this mistake. You're a human being, you're not God. Give yourself a break. And that's why we're here, to really learn from our mistakes. Don't beat yourself up. There's nothing good gonna come out of it. Even I have so many degrees and knowledge. I made a few mistakes with my son as well. It just is what it is. We're
Okay.
human beings. Yeah, give yourself a break.
My daughter is a projector,
Yes.
and she's always loved reading and telling stories, and that's like she just loves it. And I sent her to kindergarten, and she felt dumb and behind, and it really, really put a huge break. That even now she's almost 9, and I still hear her say, I can't read. She reads books to me all the time. And I'm like, Vivian, reading isn't like that you know every word. And so I mainly to Christine, like, I can understand why you would fall, like, I'm like, I wish I never did that. I knew public education was not aligned for my daughter. I knew that.
Yes.
But like I said, I've slowly watched that go away more and more, and her interests fire up even more. And I found her alternative education that helps with that too.
Yeah. Yeah, because please know that there's only 20% of you projectors. And because you're so intelligent, you are very creative and very in tune with people. And public education is definitely not made for kids projectors, because you will come to the public education is 10 steps ahead of everyone else. And so sometimes projector kids feel like they're outsiders. Reflectors and projectors feel like that, because this is the world of generators, and especially projector kids in the public system feel very much outside. Our sun is reflector. There's only 1% of reflectors. Let's talk about them a little bit. They are the mirror of us and our society. If you'll sit in front of my son, if you're a happy person, he'll be happy. If you're anxious, he will be in front of you anxious. If you're depressed, he will show you depression. He has, well, by the way, this is the body graph of a reflector, all white signs. There's only 1% of them, very, very rare. And reflectors will enter the room and they will absorb all of the energy and they will show how everybody else. Reflectors feel the whole planet, the whole country, the room, and us. And reflectors and projectors usually sit, between generators and absorb all of their energy. And, especially reflectors, they're right away showing you their mood. Example of reflectors, the biggest one is Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson obviously gone through a lot of traumas in his childhood, especially with his dad. And so he grows up and he reflects the whole country of United States. We look at him in his 40s. It's not very clear. Is he white or is he black? Confusion. With all of this plastic surgery again, and his voice and his nose, we kind of question, is he a man or is he a woman? Because there's so much feminine energy. And what he reflects is the country. People doing a lot of surgeries, they're insecure about themselves. So, and the whole world, a lot of his songs were about the inner battle while he was older, obviously, right? And how he wanted to stop the wars and etc. Because he reflects on what's going on in the world. But at the same time, if you allow reflectors to follow their passion, their purpose, they become very successful. Again, Michael Jackson, Sandra Bullock. If she's an actress, let her act, and she's a highly paid actress for so many years. But usually, people cannot understand reflectors because they're not like us, generators, projectors, and manifestors. We're all depend on the sun's energy. Reflectors fully depend on the moon energy. They need 30 days to make a decision. For example, you ask a reflector on a date, he needs now 30 days to figure out whether he wants to see you again or not, because his immediate response from the head might be very inauthentic. They fully depend on the moon energy, moon cycle, which takes 30 days to make a decision. And so they're very unique, very, very different. Also cannot stand any kind of criticism. You just got to leave them alone to do what they do. And so kids, reflectors and projectors also don't belong in the public system. And with regards to projectors, going back to you, the famous person that comes in mind is Princess Diana. You remember how she was so feminine, so gentle, all about peace in the world. She was getting ready to even say, let's get rid of the monarchs. This is who you are. Very, very tuned, very tuned to people. You are very, very unique, very different. So when it comes to projectors, I just want to also hug you guys, because you get very, very easily influenced by people as well. And if generators will tell you something is off with you, you're trying to fit in to how you should be like a generator, but you will never be a generator. You don't have the sacral center and energy. You have your own telescope, microscope that you're looking through. And so if you're listening to that there's something wrong with manifestors, reflectors, or generators, or projectors, you're listening to this program from the lens that something is off, please know that you're also asleep. There's nothing wrong with anyone. We're very unique and perfect the way we are. We're going to start discovering your centers. We're going to start discovering which center is activated in you. We'll also start looking at the gates and what kind of projector are you? What kind of generator are you? Because you are each different, very different, even projectors. And now I have a question. I have in mind 2 exercises for us. One for today and one for next time. That is very, very powerful in nature. But you get to choose, following your gut feeling, listening to your body, which one will speak to you today. We can start with the meditation, where you're going to start connecting to yourself and your body. And this way, we're going to begin the healing process. Or I can send you into one-on-one call with each other, where you're going to do the fear exercise, releasing the fear, letting go of fear. Because each one of us are afraid, has a biggest fear. For some of you is changing a job because you've been suppressed there. For some of you is letting go of toxic friends. For others is something else and something else. And so you will be confronting by your own fears. And so let me know what feels right for you today. Starting slow and gently, or really going into the dinosaur, confronting it, the biggest thing. What feels
For me, confronting fear.
okay? Got it. Thank you.
I would say meditation.
Meditation, yes. Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Keep listening. Keep listening to yourself. Edith.
Definitely confronting the fear.
Confronting the fear. Got it. Gabby.
I think I'd like the meditation. I think I like taking it slow.
Got it. Very good. I wish we had also Emma, because right now we have half and half. Emma, what do you say?
Mind. I'm happy to do the meditation, or I can look at a fear. I don't mind.
Oh, so you're fully leaving it up to me. Well, just because Gabby is a mom, let me honor that. So Gabby will be mentally and emotionally prepared for confronting the fear next time. Sure. Yeah, we have a mom here. We got to honor that. But before we're going to do the meditation, what I would like for us to go through is the dates, because we have 2 more dates that we're going to meet. Now, unfortunately, a week from now, not next weekend, but the following weekend, I will be out of town, so I won't be able to meet with you. The last weekend, obviously, will be in 4 weeks. But will you be okay to meet for our second weekend, either next Saturday or after, what is it? Not after 2 weeks, but after 3 weeks.
I'm available for next Saturday.
Okay, what about others?
I'm available for both.
Fantastic. Kristen, next Saturday works for you. Edith, Ayana? We cannot hear you, Kristen.
So my son has a game next Saturday again at 12. So I mean I could make it. I just don't know if we could change the time, or
Okay.
we could do it if we could start earlier.
Emma cannot do it earlier. What if we do it later? What time later?
He would finish by 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, so you can be home by 2:30?
Yes, or I could hop on my way home again. If you
At
wanted to do
2.
2. Yeah.
Okay. Can we move next week to 2 o'clock, ladies? Yes, we
Yeah,
can.
that's fine for me. Yeah.
That
I
works.
have to see for me. It might not be a good day. I'm supposed to have family visiting, so I might not be able to skip away from that.
You won't be able to. So maybe
Um,
we can do option not next week, not following the April 1st weekend, but the April 2nd weekend in April. Will that work?
I can look up on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know
Is that the
what date that
6th?
is?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Emma?
Is it the 6th?
Uh,
April 6th is the first Saturday of April. So is it April 13th?
April 6th, I can do. April
I
6th.
could do April 6th too. He doesn't have a game.
Okay, so can we do April 6th, ladies?
Yeah,
April
I
6th works
can.
for me.
April 6th works for everybody. And what is after April 6th? What is the following Saturday?
That the 13th, and
Okay.
that doesn't work for me because it's our holiday, but I can always watch the recording.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I can't make the 13th either.
13th you cannot make. What about the following after the 13th, that Saturday? What date is that?
The 20th.
20th. Can we do the 20th?
The
Yeah,
20th
that's
works for
fine.
me.
Does it work
Yeah.
for everyone? Okay, so then our second weekend will be on April 6th, and our third weekend will be on the 20th. Yeah?
Okay.
Are we keeping it at the 2 or 1?
So on April 6th, what time, Kristen? Can we do it at 1?
Okay. So April 6th, no, he has a game at 12.
Okay, so then we can do
So
what time? 2 o'clock?
2. Right. So April 20th, I feel bad because I could just catch the recording because he has a game at 12 and 2.
Ah, so that doesn't work for you. Okay.
Yeah, so if we want to do like next Saturday, I could just miss an hour of the game. I'd probably rather do that than on April 20th. And that would be right smack in both games. I'm
Uh-huh.
so sorry, but I'll catch a recording
No,
just
no,
because
no.
he's on varsity and
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
have to kind of be there.
Absolutely. Let's figure it out when we can make it work. So next weekend, what date is it again?
March 23rd.
March 23rd. Did anybody else could not make it March 20?
I would just have to see, because I'll have family visiting, like preparing for that. But
Okay, okay.
if you guys do it, it's okay, and I can see if I might be able to.
Will we be able to move it to Sundays? Will that be better?
That works. I'm free any Sunday.
Sunday works good.
Does it work for everybody Sunday? Maybe we can just move to Sunday. Yeah?
I'm
Sundays
sorry,
is
but
good.
I can't do the Sunday because the timing is about sort of 4 or 5 in the morning for me, and then I will have work. It'll be too much for me. I mean, I can catch the recording, but a Friday or Saturday is better.
Friday or Saturday is better. So let's stick right now. We know that April 6th works at 2 p.m., right?
Yes.
Let's keep right now for that.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Yep. Okay, cool.
So I think for the timing, which is true for me, does not work because of the time difference. I'd actually prefer is like we maintain the usual time that we used to have. That works perfectly well with me because 2 would be so late.
Yep.
Like,
No,
it would
April
be
6th, I can do any. He doesn't have a game actually on April 6th.
Okay, so we can do
I
April
could do
6th
any.
at 1 o'clock. Yeah?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, ladies, let's do this. April 6th is the next meeting. We're meeting at 1 o'clock, And the last weekend, we will talk about it on the next meeting. How about that?
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yay, fantastic.
Sorry, I'm sorry, everybody. Thank you.
No worries, no worries. That's why we're here. We can discuss and make it work for everyone. So, ladies, 2 minutes break, bathroom break, water break, and then we're coming back for the meditation. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Gabriela, I also wanted to add something. Please know, I guess others should hear this as well, but for now it's for you, that once generator sees your strength, your projector, that you see, projectors are kind of shining their with their thin laser to them. And once generator sees your strength, they will all gonna start competing to have you. Make sense? That is the sign where everybody wants you, is that you're already living life as a projector. And for generator, it's the main thing is to just listening. Yes, this is my projector. I see. And that's what the main thing for generator and projector. Generator has to fully rely on the and for you to wait. You're shining your kind of microscope, right? This laser. But once generator sees your strength, you will see that they will be like, I want you. Or I want you, Samantha. I want you, Edith. That's how generators. They will all want you. Make sense? Yeah. All right, ladies. What I would like for you now to fully shift from this conversation of projectors and generators. Nothing is wrong with you. You're beautiful the way you are. Just please know that. Right now, we're shifting from that conversation and you're getting very comfortable either on the sofa or on a recliner where you can fully relax. Now, I highly actually recommend either for you to sit on the sofa, Kristen, or for you to get on the bed. If you're gonna lay down on the sofa, one side will be blocked and you want both of them to be open. So just stay like that. And so now, get comfortable and close your eyes. And take a deep breath all the way in. And then slowly exhale, letting go and slowing down. Take another deep breath, bigger than the one before. And then slowly release. As you're exhaling, feel how the tension is leaving your body as you focus on yourself and on your body. Take another deep breath, bigger than the one before. And connect to your right hand and then left hand. And as you're exhaling, feel how all of the tension from the right and left hand is leaving you. As you're taking another deep breath, hold it for 3 seconds. And as you exhale, allow yourself to fully relax your spine, your back, your legs, your neck. And now when you relax and you breathe easily and effortlessly, you can envision yourself on a secluded island surrounded by a beautiful lake under the night sky. The moon shines brightly, casting a gentle glow over the water, and the stars twinkle like diamonds in the sky. You feel comfortable, and the cool breeze against your skin feels relaxing as you stand at the edge of the lake. The water is calm and inviting, and you feel so safe and protected by this island, by this moon, and this lake. And the water is inviting, reflecting the beauty of the moon above. With each step, you wade into the water, feeling a sense of peace and serenity wash over you. It feels so wonderful and relaxed. As you swim further into the lake, you dive down to the bottom, feeling the weightless body, and you're feeling free, at peace, and fully relaxed. The water embraces you like a warm embrace, and you lay on your back, floating effortlessly. And even though you're on the bottom of the lake, you're gazing up at the starlit sky, and you see the beautiful stars, even from the deep waters of a lake. And what you're noticing that you can easily breathe under the water, feeling fully safe and connected to all the elements around you. The connection between you and the moon is profound. The light of the moon is helping you slowly submerge into the floor of the lake, where you feel safe and protected at all times. You're floating on the bottom of these gentle waters of the lake, feeling fully content, at peace, and relaxed. This is your natural state of being, and you're fully embracing it. Let go of any worries of stress, allowing yourself to be present in this moment of tranquility. As you float on the water, surrounded by the beauty of the night sky, embrace the feeling of safety and comfort that envelops you. Allow yourself to relax completely, knowing that you're protected and at peace in this serene oasis. And in this tranquil state, allow yourself to fully submerge into the essence of your being. Feel the essence of the water, the sky, and the moon that orchestrates the body of water and all waters on our planet. Just as the elements are interconnected, you are connecting to yourself and nurturing right now your own well-being. And that feels wonderful. As you float at the bottom of the water, feel the weight of worry lift off your shoulders. The state of tranquility is your natural state of being. And now you can slowly rise from the bottom of the lake and you can gently swim to the sandy shore of the sacred island. It is your island. And you're noticing that in front of you lies an inviting opening of a cave with a gentle fire. The mountain is not too high or too low. And you start slowly entering the cave, feeling again safe and protected, just as you did in the lake. The fire in the cave allows you to look around, and on one side, you see the drawing of ancient people dancing around the fire, singing, and spending quality time with their friends and family. And you wonder for a moment if these are your ancestors, or maybe even you in one of your early lives. Then you allow yourself to feel the sand under you dry, and there's a blanket lying next to the fire. And you're not cold, but you don't mind having a fire and wrapping the blanket around you. After a few moments, you realize how wonderful it is to be here with yourself. Now I would like for you to make yourself comfortable on the blanket in this cave and hug yourself. Give yourself the love that you've been waiting for all your life. From parents first when you were young, from friends when you were older, from your dates and your partners, later in life or now. But now you're old enough to know that only you can give yourself what you need. And saying to yourself, I love you, is not enough. Your body needs to feel it. So keep hugging and holding yourself. Where we put our attention, that's what brings a result. And no one else and nothing else is more important than you. Allow yourself to feel how your body feels as you hug yourself and give yourself unconditional love. How does your soul and heart feel as you continue to hold it yourself and nurturing your heart, your soul, and your entire being? Allow yourself to feel anything that comes to the surface and just be with it. You may experience all kinds of emotions, and that's okay. Just keep holding and hugging yourself until your body feels that it had enough. Right now, you're with the most important person in the whole world, with you. Allow yourself to continue to breathe and pay attention to yourself, your feelings, your body. If anything arises, something that it shouldn't be there, something that feels uncomfortable, put your attention to that place and give love to that place so it can dissolve anything that shouldn't be there, anything that feels heavy or uncomfortable. And only when you're ready, you can start slowly come back to here and now, but only when you're ready. Take your time to acknowledge yourself, the cave, the fire, the lake, the moon, and the sky. And you can start slowly moving the fingers and your toes as you can start slowly shifting back. And at the same time, acknowledging also yourself, the most important person in the world to you. You can start slowly opening your eyes, and without judgment or assessment, you can start looking around and absorb your room, absorb the ceiling, furniture, lamps of lights around you. Just keep glancing without putting any assessment or any judgment into anything you're seeing or hearing. Very well. Beautiful work, ladies. Anybody wants to share anything, how it went for you?
I certainly think with the second exercise, when we look into our fears, that's what got even brought up in this one for me. I definitely have used my mind to make decisions, and it has made me my own victim of being used and abused. So trusting in that inner choice instead of my mind choice, probably.
Yeah. And when we look at your particular design, we'll look what you can listen in your body, because each projector is very unique and different, because again, generators have the sacral center, you know, but with you we'll be looking at it closely, and you will see where's your limitations, where is your settings, what is your navigation, what is your GPS, because each of you have your own GPS. So thank you for sharing. Anybody else?
Well, I haven't meditated in a while, so that felt really nice, honestly. Just because we're not in a very strict routine yet with the baby. But no, it definitely felt nice and just kind of, it's funny because I know Samantha, you even mentioned it, that like how being pregnant forced you to be in your body, and definitely, and even before becoming pregnant, I feel like I was kind of practicing that, whether it was through yoga or like other things. But I think now that the baby's here, I'm more in my mind, because I'm like, oh, okay, he's got to eat, he's got to do, like, there's more of these tasks of just trying to, remember to take care of everyone. So it was nice to just kind of connect with your body. And I like, oh yeah, your body does tell you certain things when you just relax and listen, for sure. So that's what I felt.
That's beautiful. Beautiful, Gabby. Thank you for sharing. When you're mentioning that you haven't had your own back in your routine, consider that you have a routine. It's a baby routine. Babies, kids changes everything. So there's no going back, like thinking how it will be again like it was before. No, no, Gabby. It's just baby is there, and it's a miracle. It's a beauty. And he's adjusting all your life for him. And you're getting the best endorphins in the world thanks to baby Alexander. So it's wonderful, just fully surrendering to what he's bringing you. Your little manifestor chose you. Manifesting generator, and you chose him. So there's a really beautiful connection, and you don't need right now really no one. You need him and he needs you. And that's why creator is not even sending you another generator. Do you get it? Because that would be a really distraction from the most important person. Baby Alexander, husband, and you can pay attention to you and then to them. And so right now, all of the projects are not important. Let it go. That's not right now the search for that. Yeah? Beautiful. Absolutely. Anyone else?
I was actually at like a women's spiritual retreat for like Muslim ladies not too long ago. And we did a meditation while we were there, and I felt a lot of pressure in different parts of my body, but specifically like my chest for the specific meditation we were doing at the time. And today I noticed like when I start to quiet down or anything like that, I feel a lot of pressure in like my upper body. So I had a lot of pressure in like my upper back. So I'm not really sure what I've read like before that sometimes that means that you have a lot of worry, which I do. I always have as a child. My dad's always like seen that within me. So I'm just working on loosening that up, that tightness that kind of comes when I begin to like start to reflect or anything like that.
Ayana, thank you so much for sharing that. Because this is the next exercise that I will ask you to do as a homework assignment exactly for today, because tomorrow you're just not going to do it. It's going to start loosening up the pressure. For you, it's the chest and upper body. For others, it could be on the shoulders. For others, it's going to be on the lower back. For others, it's going to be in a matter of head and headaches or panic attacks or anxiety or stress. And do you remember we were talked about the four things? Who are you living with, right? Who are your friends? Where are you working? And etc. So the assignment is to make a phone call to the person that you don't have right now. How can I put it in correct words? That you don't have the flowy or harmonious relationship with. Maybe for some of you, it will be your parents. For some of you, it will be partners or ex partners. And maybe you feel like calling them to just say, I am just wondering if we can talk heart to heart honestly, because you come into my mind a lot and I feel like we haven't been where we used to be. Maybe to some you would want to call and apologize. Maybe to some you would call and just to say, I'm just been thinking about you and I want to get back to our um, friendship back, or whatever that is that you feel in your gut feeling that you wanted to talk to them openly and authentically. But there is but. If you're gonna call them from your head, do not do it. Only if you can call them without making them wrong, from your heart, from the space of love. Maybe you want to call them apologize. Maybe you want to call them to thank them. Maybe you're calling them to clear the space, because you are the most important person. The second circle is your parents, your significant other, and your kids. If with any of those people you don't have a good relationship, you will feel somewhere pressure in your body. For others who have a fear of letting go a job where they're stuck or moving somewhere where they feel unhappy, we'll be dealing with on the next weekend. That's a fear exercise. And for those of you who are really scared to call their exes, or let's say parents that they're constantly battling about, then again, we can do it in a fear exercise. But I highly, highly recommend for you, if you can come from the space of love, to call them and talk to them openly and honestly, heart to heart, without making them wrong, from the space of love. For example, you're calling, let's say, your dad. Dad, we haven't been talking for the past few months, and when we talk, we just hardly talk on surface. And it just concerns me that we lost that deep connection with each other. And I just want to fix that. I think part of it has to do with the last year incident. And after that incident, I kind of pushed myself away from you, thinking that, oh, because you made that comment, you might do it again and again. And I kind of closed my heart to you. And I just want to apologize. And I want to recreate our friendship, our deep parent daughter to father connection. And I'm not here to judge you. I'm here because I miss our deep connection. Kind of like that. If you think you can do it not from the head but from your heart, I highly recommend for you to taking this leap and making a phone call. Question or questions?
Is this an exercise we can do with without actually calling them? Like,
See, if you not gonna do it, you still have something that is stuck in your chest, not their chest. It bothers you. That makes sense. And it could bother you. What happens for us when somebody hurts us or something doesn't go the way we expected when we get hurt? We feel this pressure in our chest or somewhere in our body. And with time, this pressure for a year or two, it's kind of sits heavy. But then after a while, it just compresses itself and sits like that very densely. And then we have another pressure on the shoulder, and then in the around kidney, and then stomach, and then we're full. Our body has full of all of those pressures. For you, it might be Ayana with regards to your ex, and if you cannot call him from the space of love, don't do it. But if you can call your ex or one of your parents, wherever it is that is sitting on your chest, you feel like this pressure, I highly recommend doing it if you're not going to be doing it from your head. If you're going to do it from your head, it's just going to get worse. Then don't do it. But if you can do it from the space of love, you're going to get like, you will feel like half a ton is out of your body. But the
for me, for me, I would like to call, but the way in which like things are like conducted in our relationship, I wouldn't be able to call him. And I should say from like a religious perspective, like you wouldn't just be able to reach out in that way.
Got it. Then you can write him a letter and pour your heart into this letter. And then you can choose a partner here who will glance this letter and say, yes, it comes from the heart. There's no judgment, there's no head. You really composed it from the heart and you can send it. Because this is for you. To see how they had, well, and we're going to find the reasons and excuses because of this and because of this, we cannot do it. Stand for you. There's no logic to it, but you're a generator. When you're going to stand for yourself or projector, it doesn't matter. Stand for you. You become free of it.
I don't, it's kind of not associated, but it is. When I meditate, it's like right behind this eye in my head that feels like every time I meditate, there is something dense right there. Is that you were describing that you can kind of know what something from the chest is? Could you help me understand this one?
Yeah, because, for example, if you haven't cried enough, your eyes feel like they're holding the tears and there's the sadness. If it's closer to the head, above your eyebrows, that means you're trying to analyze very hard. And that's what projectors, because you're very smart, you usually turn to analysis. And you can make the hole in the wall with your analysis. Instead of like listening, you also have intuition to your soul. So what is it something that you're trying to make a hole in? Because your soul is telling you, I'm still upset with so and so. And that means you owe them a phone call. In Ayana's situation, phone call would have been fantastic, but if she can't, at least really, she'll pour her heart in a letter. And whatever her husband likes, his ex-husband doesn't like it, or his wife or ex-girlfriend or new girlfriend, it doesn't matter. She's free from it. The pressure is gone from her chest. The moment he reads it, he might get all kinds of reaction, but she is free. So this phone call is for you. That letter is for you, for your freedom. Because otherwise we're like pressured and we're inside. And so we gotta open the lid and start letting things out. And that's how you get the quantum leap. Not learning the theories about projector and generator. You're meditating and you today making a phone call. The window right now will be open for you to write the letter 2-3 hours, maximum 4, or making a phone call. After 4 hours, it will be shut. Tomorrow you're not gonna do it. Even in 6 hours, I promise you. I've been there. Make sense? And once first person makes that phone call, you pop, the rest of you gonna start doing it too. Because Ayana gonna write it, he will receive it, he will read it. The moment he reads it, she is free from it. The moment she sends it even, she will be 50% free. The moment he reads it, she's 100% free because we're energetically tied up with each other. It's an illusion that she's divorced. She's still connected energetically to him. Do you get it? Yeah. And that's how you can be free.
What if they're not responsive?
And that is on them. They will be suffering with that. You know, they might not even respond, but you are free because you wrote that letter, because you made that phone call, because you left that message.
Yeah, but I mean, what if they don't even allow you to be in touch at all?
You can send them a letter to their employment. You can find out the address of their employment and you can send a letter there. You can find a way. You can send a letter to their parents and saying urgent to your son. The
Okay.
moment you send it to them, you are free. 3 years ago, one of my friends did something very, very painful, really hurted me. And for 6 months, I was trying to figure out why did it happen? And I tried to get in contact because I knew what she did. And she did an awful thing. And she obviously was embarrassed. And that's why she blocked me, did not allow me to get in contact with her. And then I found a way um, to find her address where she moved. And I sent her the letter. I wrote down everything, how I felt violated and hurt. The moment I sent her the letter, I was free. That's it. I am done. I'm closed with whatever she did. It's on her. But I also had to take responsibility. Obviously, 10 or 20 years ago, I did something like that to someone, so it came back to me. So there's no coincidence to why things happen. But I thank her for doing this. It was my lesson. I appreciate it. But the moment I wrote and I sent, that's it. I'm no longer tied with her. But for 6 months, oh, it was haunting me. You know what I mean? Whoever comes right now on your surface, that's the person you owe the phone call. Or again, letter is not the best idea. The better is phone call. But if you're not gonna make them wrong, if you're gonna make them wrong, it's gonna go south. Don't do it. You'll do it in a fear exercise. But I invite you to start your program. This phone call is your access to your quantum leap, getting out of the suppression. Any questions? All right. One more other thing. So your homework assignment will be every day listening to this meditation that we did today. And after the meditation, holding and breathing through the part of your body that feels suppressed. So today, phone call, but starting tomorrow, doing the meditation, and you feel hurt in your chest, you're breathing through the chest. You feel hurt in your belly, you breathe through the belly. You feel hurt in your head next to the eye, you're breathing through this area. So you are putting the love and breathing through that area, whatever that feels pressured and hurt every day. And also, it's a bonus if you can text either in a group or write it down in your own journal 5 things that you want to acknowledge something. You can do it privately, you can do it in a group chat, you get to choose. But this is such a powerful exercise that I highly recommend doing. I acknowledge Creator for giving me good health. I acknowledge my husband for doing XYZ so I can stay home and be a mom, whatever that it is. 5 things that you acknowledging whatever that you wanted to acknowledge. This is every day meditation and acknowledgement. This week we covered manifesting generators, and projectors. We talked a little bit about manifestors and reflectors. So questions about that. Don't jump ahead of time talking about centers yet or gates. We're not there. So only about what about this manifesting? What about this generators? But my request is that we ask questions and do the shares between 8 a.m. US Eastern Time until 6 or 5 p.m. Let's say 6 p.m. And I will be responding to your questions between noon to 2 o'clock. Okay? So if you ask me a question at 5 p.m., next day between 12 to 2 p.m., I will answer it. Okay? Why? I will tell you. Because for both generators with an open channel and for projectors, you're very bad with boundaries. If I'm keeping the boundaries, you will learn and absorb how to place boundaries because you have a very hard time with boundaries. Okay? So watch and observe. 2 hours. That's it. Because if you're breaking the boundaries in the group, that's how you're doing also outside of the group. So we're agreeing again. What time to what time? US time.
8 to 5
8 to
US
6.
or 8 to 6.
All right, let's do 8 to 6. You're sharing, you're asking questions. What time do I answer questions?
Noon to 2.
Beautiful. Clear? And then if you're asking your questions at 6 or 5 p.m. because it's comfortable for you, because you forgot, just observe yourself. Oh, I'm breaking the boundaries. Why am I doing it? And please know, if you're breaking the boundaries here, you're breaking the boundaries everywhere else. And if someone is breaking boundaries with you, you're allowing others to break boundaries with you as well. So we're learning the boundaries to keep the integrity with yourself, your body. Yeah. All right, ladies. With that said, I'm so excited. Welcome to your program. I highly again recommend for you. Whatever you do, if you feel in your gut feeling in the past 5 minutes to making that phone call or writing that letter, do it. Have access, have a breakthrough, just do it. You will feel 50 or 100 pounds lighter emotionally. Some will feel half a ton or a ton lighter. Okay? I love you. Big hearts to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Namaskar.
Thank you, Amrita. Namaskar.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.